This is Mepo and the Pouch of Gold. Once upon a time, in a wide valley where golden grain swayed like waves in the wind, there lived an old farmer and his 2 sons. Their fields stretched far toward a quiet forest where the trees whispered day and night. Every morning the air was filled with the gentle swish-swish of wheat brushing together in the breeze. But the farmer had grown very old. One quiet evening, he called both his sons to his bedside. "My sons," he said with a soft, "I will divide my land equally between you." This surprised everyone, because in those days the eldest son usually inherited everything. But the farmer loved both sons the same. Soon after giving his blessing, the old farmer passed peacefully, and his soul returned to its origin, as they say. The older brother, however, was not as kind as his father. He and his wife were greedy. Though the land was divided, they gave the younger brother only a thin strip of soil, far from the house and closest to the deep, shadowy forest. The younger brother was named Mepo. "You are a little boy and do not need so much land. Go and farm your land there," the older brother said coldly. Thud! The door shut behind Mepo as they pushed him out. Yet Mepo did not complain. Each morning he planted his seeds carefully. Pat, pat, pat. He pulled the weeds from the soil. Shf, shf, shf. He watered the earth and spoke kindly to the wheat as it grew. And soon, poof! A sea of golden grain rose from his small field, taller and healthier than anyone expected. Meanwhile, the older brother and his wife hardly worked at all. Weeds spread across their fields, and their harvest grew thin and patchy. When harvest season arrived, Mepo gathered his wheat into a single proud bundle and carried it to the market. Each year he earned 20 silver coins, just enough to live, and Mepo was content. But in the 3rd year, everything changed. Just as Mepo tied his heavy sheaf of wheat, a great bird swooped down from the glowing sunset. Whoosh! With a sharp snap, the bird snatched the bundle and flew away toward the distant trees. "No!" cried Mepo, dropping his sickle. He chased after the bird, thump, 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 but its shadow grew smaller and smaller until it vanished beyond the forest. By the time Mepo stopped running, the sky had turned dark as ink. The forest whispered around him. Hoo, creak. Mepo could no longer tell which way was home. He walked slowly with his hands stretched out, brushing branches aside. Just when he had nearly lost hope, he saw a tiny flicker of orange light ahead. Crackle, crackle. The fire came from a small hut hidden beside an ancient stone shrine. Mepo knocked gently. Tap, tap, tap. "Enter," said a quiet voice. Inside sat an old man with a long white beard. He wore a cloak of wool and feathers, and for a moment Mepo could not tell whether that man or the shrine behind him was older. "Come, sit," the old man said. Mepo sat beside the warm fire. When the man offered him a bowl of stew, he ate gratefully, slurp, slurp, for he had not eaten all day. When he finished, the old man asked kindly, "What brings you into the forest at night, child?" Mepo told him everything: the harvest, the bird, the long chase, the darkness of the woods. Once he began speaking, he could hardly stop. Tears rolled down his cheeks. Plip, plip, plip. The old man stroked his beard thoughtfully. "How much would you have earned for that wheat?" he asked. 20 silver coins, Mepo said quietly. "And would that have been enough?" "Oh, yes," Mepo answered earnestly. "As long as I can fill my belly each day, I am satisfied." The old man suddenly burst into cheerful laughter. "Ha ha ha! Well then," he said, "do you have any string?" Mepo looked confused, but he noticed a loose thread on his sleeve. He pulled it free and twisted it into a longer strand before handing it to the old man. The old man pinched the string between his fingers. Whoosh! A soft flash of light filled the hut. When the glow faded, the string had become a small pouch. "Take it," the old man said. Inside the pouch were 20 pieces of gold, bright as the morning sun. Mepo gasped and bowed low, as he did not know what being was before him, but the old man gently lifted him up. "It is only a small gift," the ancient man said. "Your humble heart shows you can be trusted. Use the gold wisely." Then he added, "As long as you do not spend it all in one day, the pouch will refill itself each night." Whether from magic or from exhaustion, Mepo soon fell asleep beside the warm fire. When he awoke in the morning, the old man was gone. The fire had faded into glowing embers. Sss. The hut felt strangely empty. Mepo hurried home with the pouch bouncing at his side. Over the following weeks, he bought new seeds and strong tools and rebuilt his little farm. Each night, the pouch refilled itself. Clink, clink, never more, never less. Soon, the older brother noticed. "How does he have all this?" he grumbled. His wife narrowed her eyes. Together, they questioned Mepo. And because Mepo was honest and a little naive, he told them the entire story. The bird, the forest, the hut, the stew, and the magical string. The older brother and his wife's eyes gleamed with greed. The next evening, they rushed into the forest, wearing ragged clothes so they would look pitiful and poor. Just as Mepo described, they found the shrine and the little hut glowing with firelight. Without knocking, they burst inside with a loud bang. "Oh, kind sir," they wailed loudly. "We are lost! We have nothing! Help us!" The old man asked, "Do you have any string?" Oh, they had plenty. They began rubbing their strings together to make longer strands. Scritch, 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 making them longer and longer. But the more they rubbed, the greedier they became. They rubbed and rubbed, scritch, scritch, scritch. The string was long enough to fall down to the ground, yet they kept rubbing. Scritch, scritch, scritch. Finally, the old man stood up to leave, a look of annoyance on his ancient face. "No, wait!" they cried, grabbing his arm, not letting him go. And with a firm shove, whoom, a bright flash filled the hut. There wasn't a pouch of gold, but where the couple once stood, there were now 2 flies on the ground, rubbing their tiny hands together as if they were still trying to twist string. Bzzz, bzzz, rub, rub, bzzz. And so, people say that if you ever see a fly rubbing its hands together, it might just be one of their descendants, still greedily trying to make their string longer.